Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Obsessive Compulsive Gaming. I am the Obsessive Compulsive Gamer, and this is my review for Samurai Maiden. So dear viewers, this particular video game is a few years old at this point, and you're probably wondering to yourself, OCG, you oh so talented chap you, who occasionally likes to dress up in a kimono and dance to video game soundtracks when he thinks that no one can see him. But of course, every single time you do that, you forget to close the curtains and give the neighbors quite a show. What the hell is this particular video game? And I'm so glad you asked, dear viewer. This is a hack and slash video game crossed with a visual novel that essentially tells the story of a girl from the 21st century who somehow finds herself going back in time to the Sengoku period. So this fish out of water has to team up with some ninja friends as they race through the underworld to stop the nefarious, the demonic, the incredibly well-hung Demon Lord. So dear viewers, if you've been following my channel for a while, you'll know that I absolutely adore hack and slash video games. I also happen to like those Japanesey, quirky, female-led hack and slash video games like the Onikambara series of video games. And I take absolutely no pleasure, well, maybe just a little bit of pleasure, in telling you that Samurai Maiden did not live up to my expectations. Yes, we got all the quirky female characters here that you'll be used to in video games. Yes, we get to do battle with the undead using a sword or... well, I don't really know what other weapons are in the game because they're all handled by the AI companions who go through the game with you. You don't actually get to play as them, though you do get to call upon them to use special abilities and pull off these devil trigger type attacks. But before you jizz in or wet your underpants, don't get too excited. This game really has nothing in common with Devil May Cry. Devil Trigger's just a good way to describe the special attacks. But sadly, all of the levels look the bloody same, though sometimes there's more fire, sometimes there's more ice, but all of the time, these levels are emptier than a Satanist's house on Halloween. Actually, now that I think about it, that reference doesn't really work. Let's try that again. These levels are emptier than a brothel on Christmas Day. Again, that reference doesn't really work. Oh, never mind. The levels are empty. That's the point I'm making. There's no NPCs. There's no towns. None of that mumbo jumbo. There is plenty of enemies though, and boss fights too. But I hope you like the look of the handful of boss fights you fight in this game, because you'll fight them over and over and over and over again. Even the titular Demon Lord, you fight that bastard about halfway through the game. So it's hardly a surprise when you have to fight him again at the very end of the game. Well done for spoiling your final boss fight, game developer. And it's actually in these boss fights where a lot of the frustration in this game is. I might have called this a hack and slash video game, but it does not have the grace or the fluidity of something like this year's Ninja Gaiden 4. As opposed to a sword, our main character plays like she's hurtling around a bloody bag of heavy shopping. So damn sluggish. So damn unsatisfying. Does it get the job done? Yes, I suppose so. But is it all that fun? No, not really. What also isn't fun in this game is that hours of it is taken up by these stupid visual novel cutscenes. and the developers didn't even have the good grace to bless us with an English voice dub. Yes, I know a lot of you purists out there must be thinking, OCG, an English voice dub? Are you off your medication again? The answer to that question is yes, by the way. I can't find my medication. Bertrum must have put it somewhere. But anyway, I mostly found the voice actors for all the female protagonists in this game to be bloody annoying. Squeaky as all hell. If I wanted to listen to an incessant squeaky voice, I would forcibly insert Mickey Mouse into my inner ear canal. And these bloody visual novel sequences go on for ages. And apart from a rather nicely animated opening cutscene, these visual novel sequences are the closest you're going to get to a cutscene in the rest of the bloody game. Even these extra levels you get to do are these bonding sequences, where you spend time with your female companions. Even they're presented like bloody visual novels. Well, not really the side missions. They always start with a bloody visual novel thing, but then you get to play a level eventually. And the level design in this game is practically schizophrenic. In terms of its length, I mean. Some of the levels are nothing more than a boss fight. Some of the levels are shorter than my Tinky Winky, and others go on for bloody ages. If it's not obvious already, I found Samurai Maiden to be a particularly average hack and slash video game. And that's not what I'm used to with this particular genre of video game. I'm used to loving these types of games. Ninja Gaiden 4, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, even the bloody Oni Canberra series that I mentioned earlier. I'd rather have been playing any of those games than play this. And I advise you do likewise, dear viewers. Though, for the more perverted among you, in the opening cutscene we do get to see two girls kissing, so I suppose that's something if you're into that kind of thing. Therefore, sadly, I'm going to have to declare that Samurai Maiden is incredibly underwhelming. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, my review for Samurai Maiden. If you enjoyed this little review of mine, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't enjoyed it, well then feel free to give me a thumbs down. But please remember the single most important thing I always tell you, dear viewer, and that is to always stay obsessed with gaming. Are you still here? Oh, you must have really enjoyed this video then. In that case, you had better subscribe to the channel and check out our other content. Otherwise, you're a booby pants, and no one wants to be a booby pants.